You guys are so triggered over 59 people.
No, I'm not.
After we left 20 million people in the country. I don't know why you're so triggered.
Haven't even brought up the people, the white people that Trump picked out because they were white and told them they could come to the country.
How much racial killing are you going to condone?
Let's jump over to CNN because they covered this, and Scott Jennings, as always, trying to make some sense with a bunch of people who are running cover for people who want to kill the boar. Cue up Scott and the retards.
All right, so we're going to be reacting to that video right now. Might be the end of this CNN guest, according to Rubin, the Rubin Report. Let's take a listen.
That some white farmers have been murdered?
No, it's not true that there is a genocide against white farmers.
Okay, whatever you call it, have white farmers been murdered?
Actually, how many
have violence been committed against white farmers?
How many white farmers, hold on a second, how many white farmers have been murdered in South Africa?
I don't know, several. I mean, they asked...
No, how many?
I don't know, several.
I know why you don't know, because those numbers don't exist broken down by race.
I mean, I know this. I wouldn't trust the South African government to tell me. I know that.
How many black farmers have been murdered in South Africa?
Look, you guys are so triggered over 59 people.
No, I'm not.
After we left 20 million people in the country. I don't know why you're so triggered.
Haven't even brought up the people, the white people that Trump picked out because they were white and told them they could come to the country.
How much racial?
Oh, man. Well, I don't know if that's true, how true that is, or whatever. The fact of the matter is, anybody that gets killed because of the color of their skin, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3, should not be condemned. And what's going on in South Africa actually is pretty shameful, pretty disgraceful. And President Trump, he's getting criticism because he basically showed this and actually asked questions basically to the South African government that was visiting the White House. And, is it in the interest of the world what South Africa is doing? Well, I mean, if they are allowing this, it's pretty much everybody's business. Nobody should allow this, whether it's the genocide part of it, it's whatever, but they are killing people based on the color of their skin. And that should not be allowed anywhere in the world. To black people, it shouldn't be allowed. To white people, to Hispanic people, to Asian people, nobody.
Are you going to condone?
There are 19,000 murders in South Africa. 36 were on farms. 7 of the farmers were victims. Okay, this is according to the South African police.
And you think the South African government is a credible source?
The other 29, hold on a second. The 29 victims who were included in the farm killings were farm employees who tend to be black. So the vast majority of people killed on farms in South Africa are black. Where is the concern about them?
The concern is that there are white farmers who have had violence committed against them, and they're being threatened. They're being threatened every single day. There's 59 people,
hold on a second.
And you're triggered about 59 people, and I don't know why.
I haven't mentioned anything about 59 people. Why are you only concerned about white people?
I'm only concerned about this story because these 59 people asked for status. They're getting status, and now everybody's freaking out about it.
They didn't ask for anything.
Okay, so first up, as I always say, Abby Phillips, she's just like the dimmest bulb on television, right? I don't think she's racist the way I think Sunny Hostin's racist. I don't think she's evil the way I think that Anna Navarro's evil, or like mentally unhinged and stoned like Whoopi. She's just dim. Like, you just look in her eyes and she's dim. And you know she'd be taking the complete opposite position if the skin color was different.
Well, that is the main point, right? If this was white people shouting and screaming that black farmers need to be killed and we need to kill them, we need to annihilate them, it would be mayhem on every corner of the world. And that is the double standard that sometimes we find ourselves into, most times now in politics. And when it comes to media takes, it's either right, left, whatever. If you go to CNN, it's all about everybody's racist towards one certain ethnicity, and nobody else cares about any other. That is that is what we're dealing with in today's world, unfortunately.
But she is sort of hitting a point that I made up the top. I don't want to get lost in the word genocide in this case, because it in some sense it's irrelevant. If there's a targeted killing of this group of people who largely happen to be white farmers, it's not good. That's what Scott's trying to say, right? So they just do this shell game with everything. We do have a little bit more info on some of the numbers if you want some of them. Pull the tweet up here. So this is from a Twitter account, but we'll give you a little context from Latinx Adjacent Doctor. It's sort of a funny name, but white farmers make up 44,000 people in South Africa, or 0.066 of the population, less than 1% of the population. So white farmers are being murdered at a rate 1,500% of their population. It's the literal definition of racial violence. And then what the account is doing is retweeting PBS News, which says white farmers have been murdered in South Africa. But those murders account for less than 1% of more than 27,000 annual murders nationwide. Experts said the deaths do not amount to genocide, and President Donald Trump misleads about land confiscation. Leave that up for just a second. So what PBS is doing, it's not that PBS is lying, but it's the subtext because they're not giving you enough context. So what they're saying is white farmers have been murdered. Okay, fine. No one's denying that, as I said up top. But that number is less than 1% of the total murders, except if you take up the fact that there are 44,000 people that are white farmers in South Africa, it's less than 1%. So the murder rate is 1,500% higher than the population rate. Again, whether you want to call that genocide, it seems a little genocide-y actually, if a specific racial group is being killed at 1,500% its population, like it seems a kind of genocide-y, especially to the backdrop of Shakita Bonanza singing Kill the Boers. This reminds me that of this line that we've shown you many, many times over the last year or so from Elon Musk. You are the media now. So you can either trust all of the people that we just show the boxes again, the headlines again, just real quick. Can you just throw back to that quick? You can either trust all of those people who coordinate all of this messaging. And I'm not saying everything in all of those articles is a lie. I'm not. But you can either trust something that seems very centralized, that has lied to you about COVID and Russia, and all of those things, or you can try to get some truth by pilfering through the digital landscape. And that's what I'm trying to do, again, as a non-expert in this, and I will learn more and talk to more people that are experts and that are living through this stuff. Or you can just buy the state line on this. And you can ignore the numbers and everything else. Like, that really is up to you. Let's face it, the American health...
All right, so, and they're going to go into a commercial there. The fact of the matter is pretty simple. Any genocide, any killing of an ethnic group should not be allowed. That's plain and simple. And you got to call it for what it is, right? Trump allowing a certain amount of people to come here and to live... I don't know. I've heard of it. I've read of it. But if people are truly escaping their country based on the fear and their government is not doing anything to protect them, which, by the way, can be linked to a lot of countries in Latin America where that could be happening. But don't get me wrong, there are some people that don't have legitimate reasons to fear for their life. They just say that and to get into this country, and that's what they did during the Biden term. But just like a lot of these people in South Africa could be lying, the fact of the matter is that you do see these viral videos of black South Africans who are chanting, who are calling upon the death of white people over there. Whether they're farmers or whether they're engineers or whether they're whoever. It doesn't matter what they do for a living. The fact of the matter is that they are all in one ethnic group. And that would never be tolerated if it was the other way around, right? It would never be tolerated. And so it shouldn't be tolerated verbatim. Listen, it's bad. The fact is the CNN struggles to understand what what people really feel and what people really think. They live in this bubble, unfortunately, that no matter what, we just got to protect this against all common sense and all odds, right? We just got to protect it. And it is unfortunate. I used to watch CNN a lot, and I still do, actually, just so I can confirm and react to certain videos because you have to watch them. And by the way, that doesn't excuse Fox News as well. Both of these places are very much biased. If you want neutral, unbiased opinion, you won't find, for the most part, you won't find it in these two media outlets. It's unfortunate because everything on Fox everything that Trump does is amazing. And I think that he's done actually fairly well in the starting of his second term of president. I'll be honest with you. I like the first time, his first term as well, as I was a U.S. soldier. I was in the Army. I was in South Korea there. And we actually thought we were going to war because Trump was coming there and he did well. He gave us pay raise. He actually took care of veterans. And so when it comes to me alone, I can say that he was a good president. Now it looks like everything is going down. I went to the grocery store. Everything is low. Prices are low. Gas is low. So I can feel it, right? American people can feel it. And if you go to CNN, everything is against Trump, and everything he does is wrong, and he is Hitler. So in these two media outlets, they're so biased. So you really do have to do your research. And to quote Elon Musk, you are the media. You determine what's real and what isn't. So listen, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, help us out. And if you are, I don't know, whoever you are, if you're left or right, I'm just going to call it for what I see. And if, unfortunately, the Democratic Party and the left have been lacking, and they got caught lacking these past few years. So unfortunately, they're going to have to eat a lot of the criticism that's coming their way. So you can only look in the mirror and fix yourself. Nobody else will do it for you. So please subscribe, hit the like button. We will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.